the editor-in-chief of Hello Fitness magazine, and today we are in conversation with the Nandy Sisters, Ankita and Antara. Let's get started. Hi, so first of all, how are you guys?
We're phenomenal, fantastic.
And welcome to Surat, and we're very, very glad that you've come to Surat.
Thank you. It's a privilege on our part,
It's the second time we're here
yeah.
in Surat,
and it's always wonderful.
Great. So we'll get started very quickly. Can you tell us a bit about yourselves and briefly about the journey of your music?
Sure.
Anybody?
Well, we are sisters. We are 3.5 years apart, and our musical journey did not start
different
quite
actually.
different. Yeah, although we've ended up singing together now, but that's not how the plan was. I was always very sure कि मुझे musician ही बनना है. From the age of 4.5, music is all that I was interested in. I've been training in Hindustani classical since I was 4.5. I was in a reality show and everything. Ankita was a surprise package for us.
I used to enjoy music, but I never really, I was not very focused.
Like she
I don't
she
want
never
to-
thought that she's going to take up music as a career. But for her, क्या हुआ ना? Since both our parents were working, so
Wherever
they used to send us to the same classes. So she attended most of the classes
But
that
I used to be the restless child, so I couldn't sit in one place and attend a singing class.
You're the younger one.
Yeah.
So I did not have that patience. So I used to go initially, and then I used to be like, नहीं हो रहा है.
But घर में माहौल था. So she's always heard me.
Yeah, she was like my alarm clock. Okay, so she used to wake up at 5:30 in the morning. बाजू में बैठ के she used to sing sa वगैरह. So
That
I used to
is
wake up
my
listening to all of that.
So her ears got trained very early, and very early on I realized that earlier when I used to go for my recordings, I used to ask mom to come along, and then later one day I just noticed mom wasn't available, so she said take Tutu. So Tutu came with me, and I'm dubbing, and she just stood up and she's like, Didi, ऐसे नहीं, sing ऐसे, and I'm like, what? How do you know? Like इसको इतनी समझ कब से हो गई? That's the day I realized that she's been picking up, although she doesn't sing. So बोलते हैं कान से होने से पहले कान से बनना जरूरी है.
Yeah, true. So this is an example of it.
Yeah, but I think we started singing together like as games, like our pastime used to be music. और बच्चे खेलते थे, हम लोग गाना गाते.
Okay.
But I think like professionally singing, that started happening during lockdown.
COVID, yeah,
Lockdown. So I was in college at that time, and all of a sudden everything was closed. She had high school. We were all just stuck at home. We started singing together, and I had just started to play the ukulele. I taught her how to play the ukulele.
If you see the first video, I did not know how to play the ukulele at all. I was just strumming once in a while. But anyway, the first video, it was not like planned. It was BU time, and COVID had struck, so we were not going back Assam because of COVID. So we just randomly shot a video and we put it out on
the internet.
it
And
was
it went viral.
boom.
Yeah, that's how we started our COVID series, which we named Balcony Concerts, and that blew up on the internet. I think it was a series. It has some 35-36 episodes, and we've covered 26 languages in it. And वो भी plan नहीं था. Like after the first video blew up, we saw people commenting, why don't we sing in our native language? So we ended up singing in all these languages. We sang in Bengali, Assamese. So the languages that we speak Bengali, Assamese, Hindi, English. So we've sung in those. And apart from that, we've sung in Marathi, Gujarati,
Tamil, Telugu, Kannada.
Yeah, all the South Indian languages, Odia, Konkani, you name it and we've done.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
Yeah, and post that, I think that's when Ankita started taking music more seriously, because it was no longer Antara is a good singer and Antara's sister Ankita. Antara's sister wasn't her identity. It was Ankita that. So yeah, I mean, it was completely unexpected, and during lockdown we started doing virtual shows. We didn't even know that concept existed. So we started performing online for different corporates, and जैसे lockdown खुला, we started traveling all over the world as the sister duo that performs Indian folk with ukulele. So and it's been wonderful after that. The opportunities we both gotten, we did not expect it to turn out this way. So it's all a surprise, and we are enjoying every bit of it.
While I'm hearing your story, I feel so good and empowered because sometimes the smallest of the ignition can work wonders.
Absolutely.
Okay, next. What inspired you to pursue a career in singing, and how did you discover your passion for music? As you told the entire story, but what is your story? Why did you choose music?
Now that you're asking me, I don't really know. I mean, since the day I gained consciousness, all I thought I could do was music. So there was no plan B, there was no
Right.
option 2. Music ही करना है, वही आता है.
Okay.
And that was like all I could think of. So since I was so crazy for music and being from a orthodox Bengali family, education is a must. You have to do it. So what my mom used to do, she used to tell me, you have to score well. First day, second day आए class में, then you get to sit for years. Otherwise, there's no music happening.
So music was like an incentive.
Incentive. So just so that I could sing, I used to study extra hard.
Nice.
So I've been crazy for music, and I think. But you know, now that you asked the question, up till the age of 9, it was a hobby.
Right.
I was passionate about it, but it was a hobby. It was not a career choice, and you're too young to decide that anyway. But at the age of 9, essay randomly, without informing my mom also, that's a whole different story. I appeared for the auditions of Saregama Chance, and I qualified. And then the show happened. I reached top 3 girls, and after you are a part of a reality show, it opens a whole other world to you. It's like a mini internship, you can call it, no? I started considering taking up music as a profession because when you go to a reality show, you get validated by people you only watched on screen or read on magazines. Asha ji, Kailash Kher Saab, Kavita Krishnamurthy ji. They are people you only watch on screen and you've heard their songs. And when they give you standing ovation and all, you start feeling, okay, maybe I'm not too rad. Maybe you ho sakta, So after coming back from Saregama, I started working harder. I started thinking, maybe this can be a profession. And I think that's when even my parents started considering it. They weren't all, I come from a family of engineers. So after the reality show, they were like, okay, she might not have to become an engineer. Might consider something else.
I know about this fact that Bengalis are very intelligent, and I have from the readings that I've seen, they are very good artists. They have been good in literature and everything. There's these genes in Bengalis. Like they are always very talented. I know of quite a few Bengalis in my class. I had very few. You don't find Bengalis in Surat much, but I did have one person who is also a singer, but who is very smart as well. I said, it's in the genes. Okay, next. How would you describe your musical style and what sets you apart from other artists? Both of you, as a package or as an individual?
But actually, we are inspired by a lot of musicians.
Yeah.
Say, not a
Getting
particular
inspired is basic. But the one thing that we were both told from a very young age is that get inspired, learn from others, don't copy.
Right.
Because original is always an original and Xerox copy will always be a Xerox copy.
Sure.
So learn from others. When you are growing up in a country as rich in culture as ours, there's so many people to be inspired from. Of course, Lata ji, Asha ji, they are goddesses. A.R. Rahman sir, my god. By the way, he gave me my dream break in PS1. I made my playback debut in his music direction, so he's my god. My Guruji, Ustad Rashid Khan and Rahul Deshpande ji. In my teenage years, we were both very inspired by Kaushiki Chakravarti ji and Pandit Ajay Chakravarti.
Currently, we listen to a lot of Blackpink and K-pop.
K-pop, yeah. I think the whole world is listening to a lot of K-pop. So that there was this one stage where we were listening to a lot of Adele.
Yeah.
So there have been stages in our lives that we've been inspired by different people, but the constants have been Lata ji, Asha ji, Shreya ma'am, Sriti ma'am, our
They are evergreen singers. You can actually understand the voice. From the voice, you could recognize that this is this person. And there is uniqueness in it.
And there are very few singers in the world jinka gana ab har baar, you revisit them every time, you get to learn something new. Like there will be something new that you listen to, even if that one song you've heard it heard that one song a zillion times. So say Ajit Dasna. I literally grew up listening to that song, but even today if I revisit it, I know I will find something new in it that I wouldn't have noticed earlier. So that's the thing about being an encyclopedia for musician.
So as a singer, you go like this. This is like Latin for me, Greek Latin for me, whatever you might say. Because I am not a singer. My voice is not at all trained for singing. Okay,
But you're great at what you're doing. So.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Thank you. So, what challenges have you faced as a sister do in the music industry, and have you ever overcome them?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think not just us. I think any musician duo has faced it.
Any
at some,
sibling duo.
Yeah. Actually,
You
at
are-
some point they have faced it. People tend to compare you a
With
lot.
each other.
So you have to
consciously-
understand that there is a difference between. Sometimes they come up with constructive criticism, which is fine. We can take those constructive criticism and work on them. But sometimes it's just baseless and maybe
you
they
don't
just
know the line.
Yeah.
Sometimes consciously, unconsciously, people will just see.
maybe they are
Social
frustrated
media is-
about something else and they're just झाड़ देंगे or something.
See, the thing is, social media is an open forum. Anybody and everybody is free to comment. So they'll comment and go, but that will remain for you.
Yeah, true.
So consciously, unconsciously, a lot of people they end up pitting siblings against each other, which is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
So thankfully, we realized that our parents played a big role in it because as kids, you tend to react. Arey, mera to nahi hua, she's better. And then that works. It actually, and it's very normal. It's very normal. So our parents played a big role in that. They stepped in and they made us understand that there are few things, few qualities that I have, there are few qualities that she has. And we sort of complete each other. So things that I lack in, she has them. So things she lacks in, I have them. So we are an item. There is no competing. And at the end of the day, like I have grown to understand that she's pretty much my baby. Like I taught her, and you know, whatever little she does, whatever she achieves, I feel like a proud mother
Yeah,
looking at her.
because
So there is
If
no
I'm singing today, that's because of her. If she wouldn't have made me sit and do riyaz, I wouldn't have been able to sing today whatever I'm singing. So
But
yeah.
all these realizations took time. They happened because of our parents. Our parents understood what was happening. But we have actually seen people fall apart. Sibling duos, trios fall apart because of this simple thing, which is induced by external people, like external elements. Plant these ideas. They're not naturally there. So that is one thing we faced, and we've thankfully overcome.
So this is, I think, I don't know, but I'm also a younger sister. I'm also an elder sister. So yeah, I completely get it what you are trying to say.
Yeah.
You do take up from your elder siblings a lot.
Yeah.
You learn a lot from your elder siblings, and yes.
To some extent, you could say I idolize her, actually.
No, I would completely agree with her because as a younger sister, I know what she is trying to tell. That you look up to your elder ones and you want to, some way you want to catch those little things, you feel, oh wow, she's so good at this.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly, of course.
Damn.
Okay, that's a discovery. Okay, so what is your creative process like when writing and composing songs together? And yeah, we've just done the drawing inspiration part. And how do you collaborate on creating music? So what is your joint effort? Like how is that entire process goes in your songwriting process or whatever you are remixing those songs? So how is that process?
Doing originals, we actually get inspired from anything and everything that happens around us. Like recently, we came up with a Bengali song. It's called Brishti. Brishti means rain. So it was monsoon time. So we thought,
We got
okay,
inspired by the
why
lyrics.
not?
They're like, I think that's how most people get inspired. They look around whatever's happening, and you never know where inspiration comes from. This one time, the first song that I ever wrote, I wrote it at the age of 13. I was in 7th grade, and I wrote it because I was frustrated of maths.
Oh,
Yeah, and my mom, she kept saying, "Nahi, bahar nahi jane ko milega. Finish all your assignments, then you go get this stuff." So my reply was, "जा उड़ जा रहे यहाँ से परिंदे जा उड़ जा रहे." So anybody who listens to the song, they're probably, "Oh my God, two thoughts." I'm like, no, maths. She didn't let me step out.
Now people know this.
Now people who watch this interview will know it. So you draw inspiration from just anywhere. But now that we've started writing together, it's a collaborative effort, and we just sit down with an idea and we brainstorm. What should the approach be? While we were writing Brishti, so Brishti is a song that talks about the little nuances of rain that, irrespective of age, everybody has experienced. Be it our grandparents, our parents, us, or the upcoming generation. Everybody has experienced making paper boats, playing football in the rain, getting all muddy, catching a cold, having proceed. These are things everybody has experienced, right? So we sat down with the idea of writing a rainy song, and then we brainstormed what are the instances. She's giving some ideas, then I'll contradict her. Then if I suggest a tune, she'll come up with the chord structure. It's like that. It's a faster process. I've realized when I used to write songs on my own than having my sibling do it, and there's no better partner than a sibling because we think very alike. So there are times when I have the idea and I'm probably not being able to put it into words. She doesn't.
I just understand.
She understands it. I don't have to put it into words. I think
Yeah,
there's like a weird unsaid Bluetooth connection.
after all these years while you're working together also, being sibling is definitely a pro.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, wow.
Perfectly explained.
Yeah. So there are a lot of things, even on stage, we don't have to plan. We just end up doing it together, and then we're like, okay.
That's nice.
That's how even when we make our mashups for social media, or we're coming up with some interesting covers. That's how it works. I suggest something, she'll just finish it. I start the line, she finishes the line.
Wow,
So there's hardly any effort, not much effort. When it comes to ideating the whole thing, she just gets it.
perfect. So, are there what has been the most memorable moment or moments in your musical journey while performing together so far?
There have been a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So together, singing together, I think
We've been validated. Yeah.
we've been validated by a lot of people who we've looked up to.
Shankar, Madhavan sir. We've been validated.
A lot of times by Salim
Salim sir.
Then
Vishal, Shekhar, the duo. Who else? I mean, there
a
were
lot of people. But I think the highlight has to be it's one Christmas. I think it was right before lockdown. We put out a Christmas carol video on Instagram. It was a very casual.
that was before Nandy Sisters happened and everything.
That was before balcony concerts, before lockdown. It was a very random video on the internet, and we woke up to Rahman sir liking that video.
Wow.
So I think that has to be the highlight for our joint career. Yeah, that has to be it. Oh, no. And there's another. We've just made our playback debut in the Bengali film industry together as a duo, and the song comes out this Durga Puja. So we are very excited. Because this is special because there was a time, right after lockdown, during lockdown, and since I have been into this for a longer time, we had actually had this discussion at home where I told my mom, listen, playback, leave it. But SRE, only if you have a song in a movie that you would consider a singer. We can still do our own thing. We can make our own music. That's what we were doing because we didn't know how else to go ahead. That's why we started posting videos online. So we had this conversation, and then 2022 is when my playback debut happened in PS1. It's a Mani Ratnam song, Rahman sir's music, and it came out of the blue. I had sung a rough scratch version long ago, and I knew that it was going to be replaced by a bigger singer. And 1 week before the audio launch, I get a call saying you have to fly down for the audio launch to Chennai because your version has been finalized. I was like, what? For real? My version in a film? And after that, Ankita and I, we are making our playback debut in the Bengali industry together as a sister duo. That's huge because from that conversation of never being able to hear ourselves on the big screen to it finally coming true, I think it's been a fun journey.
Okay, so let's not cheat.
Yeah.
Okay, so are there any specific artists or bands that have influenced your music and performance style?
Artists, like we said, there's a lot many artists. But I think
Our performance style is not really inspired, you could say, because we like to, okay, there's something that I would like to say. We like to break barriers. Okay, we really like to take up challenges. That's how our balcony concert happened as well. People said the instrument that we use, it's a Hawaiian instrument. It's a 4-string instrument. Like, so if you actually compare that with a guitar,
It's an incomplete.
It's an incomplete instrument. So when we started singing with that instrument, the ukulele, people said that you can't really sing our genres.
And
You
we
know,
were like, up
sing,
the sub
you know,
guys.
country, the blues, wahi chalega. But then we sang Indian folk, Indian classical, you name it and we've sung it. So yeah, so inspired our performance style, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, I think
It was
we've
complete.
just cracked our own path over the years and we kept evolving. Like our goal has always been, अगर आज one किया, कल two करना. That's it. And because you have social media, you have the internet, you have exposure to everything. You know कौन क्या कर रहा है. So you can see, you can learn. We are massive admirers and fans of Sunita. Like I don't think there is anybody in the whole entire globe that who is capable of doing what Suniti ma'am puts on stage. Like she performs like a diva and she sings live.
Yeah.
Even Western singers, they don't do that. Their live performances are dubbed to a certain extent, and that's when they are able to dance. Suniti ma'am is not dubbed, so we hope that. I know it's impossible to do what she does. There's only one Suniti Chauhan and there will always be one Suniti Chauhan. But we hope that one day we can get to a point where we can perform and sing and be as captivating as she is. Not as captivating as her because that's a whole unreal level of expecting us to be anything.
Maybe be a 10%.
10% of what she is, धन्य हो जाएंगे उसी में.
True. So how do you balance your individual identities as singers with your collaborative work as a group?
It's actually a good question. And a tricky one,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's tough to balance the identities, especially when you are siblings that look similar and are in the same career path. So until Ankita came along, I was having a jolly time doing it. But now we've been singing for what, 3 years together, and people still have trouble identifying who's who. So half the
Who's
people,
the one, who's Antara, who's Ankita?
yeah, half the people still think she's Antara. So we're like, हाँ ठीक है, अब तो आदत हो गई, ठीक है यार, यही है Antara. But yeah, like I said, I mean, it is tough when you're trying to establish yourselves two separate people with two separate sets of skills, but in the same career path. It is difficult, and we're still trying to crack it. As and when we do, you'll know.
Correct. So what are your goals and aspirations for the future of your music career?
It's a very simple, crisp answer. I save you all the time.
To make our own identity through our music, so that if we
So our own super hit songs.
Yeah.
That's it. Like enough of doing covers. Originals, like songs that are our own. Like when we go on stage, people should be
singing
singing
with us,
our songs with us. Like it's a dream that we sing the first line and the next line people
Yeah.
sing with us, and that shouldn't be a song that's somebody else's. When you grow up in a country like ours, which is so film dominated, you grow up singing other people's songs only. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
But अभी ऐसा लगता है कि अपने गाने और super hit होने. So we hope that happens.
It will happen because it is actually, you guys are a trend right now. Honestly speaking, you guys are trending right now.
Trends die down, we hope we do.
No, they will not. There are certain trends which die down, but I think, honestly speaking, those trends have come out of pure talent and dedication. They don't die. So my good wishes, all sorts of blessings and choicest of blessings are with
The
you
day we
guys.
have our own super hit song, we're going to fly down to Surat to give you a shout.
Wow, I love it. Okay, so can you share any upcoming projects or releases that your fans can look forward to?
there are a lot of releases coming up this October. So
Yeah, during October, we have way too many releases happening. Like I said, our playback, our Bengali debut playback is happening. And a lot of Durga Puja songs are coming up. Apart from that, we are working on our own originals, which are scheduled for the end of this year. And yeah, I mean, a lot of fun stuff to look forward to. And there is a few things that we'd like to keep secret and drop it as a surprise.
Right.
Holding
There are
up to it.
certain things which which you don't want to jinx it, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Let it come out and then I'll explode it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what advice would you give to other aspiring singers, especially those who are siblings or a part of it? What do you
The same thing that we faced. If you're putting out videos and stuff and you get criticisms, comparing the two of you or something, if they're constructive, pay heed to it. Otherwise, don't.
Know what to pay attention to, because and another thing that my mom told me is don't take social media criticism as trollers. Don't take everybody as a troller. In fact, my mom says don't take trollers like trollers. She made me understand this. She said the moment you stop looking at trollers like trollers and start looking at them like a joint family. So how is a joint family? You have Tao, you have you have like your uncles and your grandparents and your parents, everybody, like cousins and everyone living together, right? And everybody has their own point of view. So somebody will say like your grandparents might be saying sleeveless पहन के क्यों बाहर जाना है. Your cousins might be saying ये trendy लग रहा है. So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So stop looking at your trollers like trollers and start looking at them like your joint family. You can't satisfy everybody in your family. No? Everybody's gonna have their own viewpoint. Someday your chacha is just gonna come and shout at you, not because they're angry on you, but because
Probably they had some bad day at work or something.
yeah, or their burger didn't arrive on time. They just missed at that and they take it out on you. So that's how internet works too. उनको गुस्सा किसी और चीज पे आ रहा होगा, भड़ास आपके वीडियो पे निकालेंगे. So stop looking at your trollers like trollers. Stop taking in that negativity. If you think what they've written makes sense and it can improve your performance later, take it in. If you think it's pointless, move on. That's it.
So that's a very sound advice, and I think your mom has been in a proper joint family because I could relate that.
She actually has it. And she's our mom age, like she manages every part of whatever we do. So she has played a very critical role. So I think that is also very important when whatever it is, whatever profession you're trying to take up, if you have somebody from your family backing you like that, and as young minds we tend to get manipulated, or if we tend to think of things in the wrong way a lot of times, or you get affected by things easily. You need somebody strong enough who's been through those days and who knows. So you need somebody to stand behind you and say ऐसे नहीं ऐसे चल. And we've always had our mom, our dad doing that for us. So one of the biggest advice I'd like to give any aspiring singer is that have patience. It's not going to be easy. Number 2, don't be a copy. Don't copy anybody. Being inspired is fine. Learn from people. Like
As she already said.
Xerox copies ₹1 में बिकते हैं. Original तो original होता है. And we actually see a lot of people doing exactly what we do. We feel happy about it. कि अच्छा चलो we've been able to inspire people. But this is one thing we'd like to say. I mean, we had to work hard to crack what works for us. And honestly, what works for us might not work for them.
Yeah.
So you have to find out your own niche. You have to find out what works for you. And that takes time. Success or any sort of growth doesn't happen overnight. And I think you'd relate to that. You have to work super duper hard day and night. Or if you're passionate about something and you have to go on, you have to achieve something along those lines, be mad about it. Be crazy about it. If you're not crazy about it, you're not doing it.
I put that in my mind. Like, I think the last thing that you said is really, that has actually touched me. That be crazy of whatever you're doing.
Yeah, people are gonna say ये पागल है. And there were so many people who came, and because I was the first one in the family to do something apart from anything in the academic field. Our entire family is into engineering. I, being the elder daughter, was expected to be an engineer. But from a very early age, I was like, नहीं करना है. नहीं करना है. So a lot of people questioned it. Music में career नहीं बनता है. Why music? It wasn't looked at as anything, a serious career life. It's not even now.
Yeah.
मतलब लोग आगे पूछते हैं कि बेटा आप क्या करते हो? म्यूजिक. अच्छा
वो तो ठीक है, आप क्या
करते हो?
So you're convincing people even today that this is what music ही career है. It's a tough thing, and we are still working towards it. And we have our parents supporting us like pillars. So we got lucky there.
True.
So yeah, but you have to be crazy about it. You have to be driven, no matter whoever says what. I was 14 when I was told you don't sound like Shreya Ghoshal, so you shouldn't make a career in music. It's So if मैं वो पकड़ के बैठ जाती तब तो गाना नहीं होता.
Yeah.
But we fought it. Shreya ma'am is Shreya ma'am. Nobody should sound like her. Nobody can sound like her.
True. It's her identity.
It's her identity. But if you end up sounding like Shreya ma'am, then who are you?
True.
But that took me time to understand. And for that 14-year-old, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. There's going to be a lot more falls than victories. But Waka Waka, there's a song Waka Waka by Shakira where there's this line. You're a good soldier, choosing your battles. Pick yourself up and dust yourself up, get back in the saddle. So every time you fall, stand up, dust yourself up. Oh yeah, how I think it's equal.
Great. Right, that's lovely. In what ways do you engage with your fans and build a strong connection with them?
I think whatever we are as people in arts and culture, we are in the public eye at all times, and whatever we are doing because our audience accepted us.
Yeah.
So far. So audience नहीं है तो हम कुछ भी नहीं. So this is something that we learned very early.
Our viewers, our followers, we literally call them our family because they are like our family. So recently we did like a meet and greet, and
We keep doing activities.
so the other.
Yeah, like she said, we
Meet
did
and greet, then giveaways, so that
and we actually connect with some of our fans on a personal level as well. Like we have this one fan, he is so crazy about us. Every time we have concerts in and around West Bengal, he drives down like so
no matter
how
which
far it is,
part of West
he
Bengal we are
biked
from.
140 kilometers to come watch us live. Then there are people who paint our pictures and they, come in person to give it to us. And it's very humbling because when you look at a painting, when you like hold it in your hand and you look at it, you know how much effort goes into it. कितना time दिया होगा उसको. And just understanding the fact that somebody would put all that effort and so many hours to paint you. तब लगता है यार मैं क्या हूँ? Why would they put so much effort? And if they did, it needs to be appreciated and valued. So we value each and every person जो भी हमसे जुड़ता है, जितना हो सकता है we try and connect with them. But it's a lot of times it's not possible to reply to each and every comment. But we keep throwing some or the other like event, giveaways, meet and greets. Anytime that we are in a place for a longer period of time, we just plan a meet and greet. We ask people to come. So it just has to happen because at the end of the day,
We are because of them.
yeah, we came from a non-musical family wherein we didn't know how to go ahead, and it was our viewers who pretty much showed us the path. So whatever songs we used to cover earlier, it was
With
because
their suggestions.
it was their suggestion. They used to request. Balcony concert, maybe whatever languages we covered, how we picked them was whichever language was requested
Most
most.
suggested.
So now today we proudly stand and ऐसे बोलते हैं कि हाँ 26 languages में गाते हैं. How did that happen?
Yeah.
So yeah, we value them a lot because we wouldn't have become what we are without them.
So you want to give them one message to whom you've not been able to reply personally? Anything that you want to say?
I think we just want to say we are extremely grateful that because everybody is busy in their lives and सबको काम है. The fact that you are taking out time to engage with us, taking out 2-3 minutes of your life to watch a 2-minute video of ours, and that is why we feel very conscious when we put out a video क्योंकि हमें लगता है कि वो 3 मिनट आप दे रहे हो to watch a video, it should be worth your while. So we work hard and you inspire us to work hard. So thank you for that. I mean, we are grateful that our family is growing, our fandom is growing, but we started off little, and all the people who were there from day one, when nobody else believed in us, you all believed in us. When there were eminent people who said music is not your cup of tea, these were the people who stuck and who used to, जब मुझे 4-5 लाइक आते थे, these were the 4-5 people who used to like our videos. So we are extremely grateful to the initial people who made who joined our family initially when we were nobody.
I need a little push.
Yeah,
That push
yeah.
was provided by you. So what is music to both of you individually? What is music? Nice. Okay. Last, as a fitness magazine, I would always ask this question to my guests: what does fitness mean to you? Like, and how do you achieve it? Be it physical, mental, emotional, social? Because as in everybody of us needs fitness. It's a 360-degree term. How do you achieve your fitness? And what is your take on being fit?
When you say physical fitness, it's actually very personal to us because as children we were both
Overweight kids.
Yeah, and it was never an issue because when you're kids and you're little chubby, they're like, oh, cute, cute. But as singers, that started affecting us. We both have asthma, by the way. And when you have asthma, it's tough because singing
more
is
like
all about
breathing.
breath control. So since we were overweight kids, we had trouble breathing. We couldn't sing even a single line without cutting the line in middle. So we had to get fit. So being fit, not getting overweight is something that was incorporated into our regime very early on. And we trained. There was this one span during my teenage when I was 15. We both had the opportunity to train in KM Music Conservatory, which is Revance's Music College in Chennai. And when we went there, that was the first time we were introduced to the idea of not just being vocally fit but being physically fit. Because for a flautist, their instrument is the flute. For a vocalist, your instrument is your whole body, not just this. So you need to be able to exercise your whole body. You don't. Gaane se pehle, people say riyaz karo. If you just warm up this portion of your body, doesn't help. You need to warm up your entire self up. So that's where we learned it. So
We recently saw even Shan sir.
Shansa, yeah,
We did a
got
song
it with him.
So just before he entered the recording booth, he has a adjacent gym right beside his home studio. He went to the gym, did a couple of push-ups, and then he went to the studio.
Wow.
Yeah, so there was this one note which was pretty high and he was having trouble hitting it. So we thought he was going to keep singing it, till he hits it. He's like, gym se aata. He went, he did push-ups and he came back and he hit the note. So that's how it works. So you need to be physically fit and mental stability, fitness is super duper important when you're in the creative field, especially I think it's for everybody. But if you're into the creative field, you cannot create if you have a cluttered mind. Like very subtle things like just being frustrated. It clouds up our minds. We cannot.
You can't be creative.
Yeah, we
at
can't
that
put
point.
out content. And as social media influencers, you have to be on the top of everyone's feed all the time. You have to keep churning out content, and you can't think if there's something wrong going on here. So it's a challenge keeping it clear. So it is a process. Both physical fitness, mental fitness. It's a process, and we're
Emotionally, how are you emotionally? Like, how do you maintain that emotional balance?
so we talk it out.
Great.
Every time we are overwhelmed,
We are like each other's best friends. So
Yeah.
if she has any problem, she tells me. I have any problem.
so we are lucky to have each other. Like we went out. Gussa hua, chilla diya.
But that is actually always better to just talk it out.
Yeah,
Spit it out or fight it out. Just don't keep on
keep it inside you because then it keeps building and then anyway you have very less space up there. Then you're not going to get enough time, enough space to do anything, the stuff that you need to do.
So now we come to the end of our conversation, but I'm not going to let you go without singing. So sing us your favorite mashup, right?
Okay, so we're in Surat and we are native Bengalis. So we're going to sing a mashup of our favorite Bengali song with one of our favorite Gujarati numbers, which we actually did as a part of our new series Gungunale with Mansi Parekh. So here it goes. Yeah, ready?
বড় লোকের বেটিলো লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথা বেঁধে দেব লাল গেঁদা ফুল আরে বড় লোকের বেটিলো লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথা বেঁধে দেব লাল গেঁদা ফুল पान लीलू जोयूं ने तमे याद आव्या जाने मौसम नो पहलू पर सादर जीलो राम एक तरलो कोड्यो ने तमे याद आव्या तमे याद आव्या तमे याद आव्या.
Wow, I'm so on. I want to make an autograph. Huh?
Did we mess up the lyrics?
No. I'm actually amazed. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm taking an autograph from you.
Oh my gosh. No. We should take your autograph. You're doing such a wonderful job at what you're doing.
Thank you very much. So we were come to the end of the conversation. We were in conversation with the Nandy Sisters, and it had been immense fun, I'm telling you. Thank you so much for sparing your time for us. Thank
It
you.
was fun for us too. Thank you for having me.